This video shows how to analyze the results of a vulnerability scan that has been imported into BMC SecOps Response service. You can fix vulnerabilities by completing a wizard that launches one or more operations that in turn run corrective jobs in BMC BladeLogic server automation, such as patching or NSH script jobs. Before you can remediate any vulnerabilities, you must first import the results of a vulnerability scan from a tool such as Qualys, Nessus, or Rapid7, and map those results to servers and remediation content in BSA. The process is demonstrated in another video. Now we resume the process by looking at the SecOps Response dashboards. Incidentally, you can also run remediation operations for servers managed with Microsoft SCCM, but that process is also covered in a different video. First, select SecOps Response Security Dashboard. The Security Dashboard gives a global picture of vulnerabilities detected in vulnerability scans. By default, the dashboard shows data from the last 90 days. In the bubble chart, a red circle represents a vulnerability that exceeds your SLA. The size of a bubble indicates how many endpoints are affected. This vulnerability affects 20 endpoints, while this vulnerability only affects 2 endpoints. Filters let you narrow the focus of the dashboard to a critical set of vulnerabilities. For OS, I'll select Linux. For severity, I'll select 4 and 5. Then I click Apply Filters. Now the chart shows information for vulnerabilities on Linux with a severity of 4 and 5. Next, I select SecOps Response Operator Dashboard. The Operator Dashboard provides charts and filters that help you identify vulnerabilities that require attention. When you have settled on a set of critical vulnerabilities that require action, you can launch a remediation wizard. Notice in the filters how the Linux operating system is already selected. So is the severity level. When you switch between the security and operator dashboards, SecOps Response remembers your filter selections. Here is the Actionable Vulnerabilities list. It shows every vulnerability on every mapped endpoint included in the scans you are using, but after filtering is applied. Currently, there are 83 vulnerabilities in the list. Now we're going to use filtering to tighten the focus a little more. For SLA, I'll select vulnerabilities that are approaching or have exceeded the service level agreement. For status, I'll select Awaiting Attention. This excludes vulnerabilities for which remediation is already in progress. Click Apply Filters. Notice how the vulnerabilities list now shows only 8 vulnerabilities. Now we're going to start the remediation process. Click Remediate to open the Remediation Operation Wizard. Enter a name for the operation, then click Next. Here you can review a list of remediations that can be deployed. If you do not want to deploy a remediation, select the check mark to deselect it. Click Next. On the operation page, you can set up job approvals. For approval type, select Change Management Automatic Approval. When you make this selection, all operations that the wizard generates will require automatic job approval. You can also set up job approvals for each individual operation that gets created, but for this example, we'll stick with the global approach. Be aware that to enable job approval, you must connect SecOps Response to BMC Atrium Orchestrator, and BMC Server Automation must be integrated with BMC Remedy ITSM. This page also lets you set up global or individual schedules for operations. In this example, there's only one operation being generated, so we'll set up a global schedule. Under Global Schedule, select with Schedule. Now use these fields to set a time and date for the operation. You must set a time at least 5 minutes in the future. I'm setting the time to 1 a.m. Saturday morning, which is our next maintenance window. In the planned operation list, make sure any operations you are creating have green checks, which means they are configured to launch correctly. At this point, I could click Next and use the following page to set up notifications for when the operation runs. But in this example, I am not setting any notifications. Click Finish. A message tells you that the operation will appear when it has been generated. Click OK. The operation will appear on the home page. If you are creating a big operation, it may take several minutes for the operation to appear. Refresh the home page. Here is the operation. If you schedule the operation to run immediately, it begins to execute. In this example, the operation will run according to the schedule I have set up. Thanks for watching.